Right, Nefiri doesn't have to worry about Trundle, thankfully, thanks to game number 2. So most of her counters are kind of off the table here now. We are surprised if LNG lock in an Ashe because I think twofold, it is not a champion we've seen LNG at all get so far this season. And when it has been available, they do not prioritize it. I also just don't think it is a match for the identity of LNG, which is 1xN on these big carries. But maybe you just make a mid-series adaptation saying, look, there's a lot of focus on the 1xN. Some of the other carries in the series are already gone. Put him on something a little bit more supportive, and let's see if he can get maybe Croco or BuLLDog starting to run away. Maybe another sheer carry game.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about, especially these best of fives, or especially in these Fearless series, you can kind of lull your opponents into a sense of security that you aren't going to go for certain picks, and then suddenly, when the chips are down, bang, Ashe Seraphine from LNG. I would have loved to see it. They don't go for it here. They go for the blind Karma. It's a very strong laning support, and they're giving Sheer this Yorick. That's taking away another one of the most picked options for Cube. He is feeling a little bit of pinched on his pool right now, I'm sure.
Surely that we're just going to be playing Mbessa at some point, because Mbessa has been buffed on this patch. She was nerfed on 26-9, but really got a few percentage points in her win rate, especially for top lane. And it's not something that I think you're too afraid to play against versus the Yorick. We're getting Caitlyn, I think a good way to take away from the Karma pairings. It's just all about whether or not Erha is going to lock in a mage, or if he's going to go for maybe a more supportive champion for himself.
Well, looking at the Lux, and there it is.
Ooh.
It's going to be a bit of a carry cosplay here, looking to play a dominant bot lane for this Caitlyn Lux. Let's see what the response is. 1xN hovering between a few different picks here. I mean, the Corki Karma would be just fine here. Looking at a Misfortune for maybe something that can go the early BT, play for a little bit more sustain, have a little bit of team fight value. And that is what they lock in.
Well, we talked about WE drafting safety for their bottom lane. Lux and Caitlyn are essentially like the best laning 2v2 you could have at this point in the series. And this is going to be very reminiscent of game number 3, the game we just saw, where as long as 1xN is not behind significantly by the 8 to 9 minute mark, I think you're happy with kind of how the matchup has gone. You're not massively behind this Caitlyn and this Lux, so we'll see if Abao and Erha can actually push the 2v2 in a way we actually haven't seen from them so far this series. We'll see the second half of the ban phase come through with a Shen, as maybe LNG have a little bit more tape than maybe we do as to expectation.
Perhaps, yeah, they've already got this Yorick locked in blind, so they can definitely ban to defend it a little bit. Choosing to take that Shen off the board. Meanwhile, you can pinch jungle here if you're WE. Instead, they're looking to ban away blindable mid laners. So perhaps suspecting that this jungle is going to get held. There's that Mbessa ban you asked for, Alk. Not going to be on the table for Q.
It's probably just going to have to play Aatrox. You could try to play Grog. I'm just looking at champions he has played so far this split, mostly this season. Gragas does not sound like a very fun matchup into the Yorick. You could try Jace, but Jace kind of fits into their composition if we're talking about like long-range poke and the like.
Find out. LNG now. A crack at either mid or jungle. Already do know that they're up against this Nefiri. The mid pool getting a little pinched away from them. BuLLDog losing his LeBlanc as well. It's a pick we've not gotten to see in quite a while. Going to be looking perhaps at this Maokai, a strong pairing with the Misfortune for some potential team fighting, and that is the lock-in.
Dude, Karma is going to get insane value this game. Just Mantra Shield inspired to the rest of the team. Maokai gets movement speed, you get to shield your Misfortune, and you get to cover a large portion of... When we get to big fights around Dragon, his ultimate basically just sweeps through the entire river. Ornn is a unique counter pick into Yorick. It's not going to deal with him very well in the side lane, but again, team fights have been the name of the game. Maybe Cube saying, I need something that's going to have a big impact and is going to give us maybe some insurance as we go on. I think in this game, for WE, getting to 4 items is really, really important for Caitlyn, and if we're going to lock in this Azir, hell man, give him a 4th item and you're really, really happy about this game.
Yeah, this is feels like it's going to be a tough matchup for the likes of Mr. Orn here, but going to be still able to scale up into the game, going to be able to Bellows Breath his way through those ghouls. It is going to be a blind Ahri, an immediate lock of the Tristana counter pick for BuLLDog.
We have been seeing so much Tristana start to kind of rise through priority, at least especially as we get into further some of these series, but we saw it in even some of the best of threes early in the split. So Tristana and Ahri, I mean, Ahri has some damage. You can buffer her charm as well. It's just that Tristana takes a little bit longer to kind of ramp up, and she also doesn't make great use of the boots. So a very, very interesting composition here from LNG, one where WE don't have a ton of front line. I think it makes a lot of sense when we're talking about how these two are going to mix and interact with each other.
Yeah, we're starting to see a little bit of Tristana top start to rise up a little bit.
Yeah?
And some of that is the levels that you get in top, like the XP boost, the fact that you get to kind of slingshot yourself past that little power trough where your range doesn't quite get ridiculous yet, and then you get 2 more levels worth of passive range as well, which also feels very, very good in late game situations. But mid lane, you don't get any of that. So mid lane, it's all just about the things that have traditionally made mid lane Tristana a viable pick. The fact that you get these resets on your jump, the fact that you could buffer both CC abilities, the fact that you can be a lane bully, the fact that you can rip through turrets so quickly.
Gordo, deal or no deal, maybe you're not going to get level 20, but you can get 6% AD and AP.
It's pretty good. I mean, you can get that on any champion, but
it's the role quest.
It is. It is. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I've always liked Tristana mid. I miss it when it's gone.
Okay.
So I'm happy to see it back.
All right. Well, we'll have to see. We had Orn just show a bot lane for a little bit here, having a little bit of fun.
Sion cosplay.
Yeah. I was actually surprised to not see Sion come through earlier. You know, Maokai is in a bit of a weird spot ever since they got rid of Phase Rush. He's kind of been a little bit homeless when it comes to his rune choices, but already going for the first strike feels pretty good when we're talking about the poke. My god, losing your barrier like that is a little worrisome in my opinion.
Yeah, really, really rough early trade here for what is supposed to be the lane dominant duo here. 1xN and Missing taking the fight to them. Summoner heal to get out of the singularity there. Nice little call out from the likes of Missing to get his 80 carry away from that ability and just give you those tiniest little advantages. Oh. Another Mantra Q, another double up. 1xN is spacing these abilities so well. He's minimized the damage he's taking from this Lux and this Caitlyn so effectively.
Dude, level
wow,
2, there's the flash.
From Erha. Flash in from 1xN. These guys are going band for band.
And they're getting paid. LNG has bigger bands right now. Those rubber bands and the card notes are making it real known here for LNG. Monki's done 3 camps, and he's going to finally cross the river line, but I've got bad news here, Monki. You're going to cross in, and there's going to be no camps for you to steal.
Yeah. BuLLDog showing why people do pick the Tristana. He's got to be a little bit careful here.
Yeah,
yes, he reset his W, but you still only get one of those. Going to try to jump away. Monkey's right on top of the flash afterwards. Double daggers. First blood to Monki on Neferi.
And he's not going to be able to steal. Yeah, Raptors are already done here. Very smart kind of rotation from Croco. Started on his Raptors, then moved into his top side, did those camps, so Monki doesn't get to steal anything. First blood going over to Monki is really important because if this Neferi can get rolling and get her items early, it's only 1 kill, but if we can see more of those, Neferi's going to be able to hunt down Tristana, Misfortune, even Yorick in a side lane with help of this Ornn. So Monki could actually be a big carry threat here in this game if this Caitlyn Lux aren't getting anything.
Definitely could be. And Monki now going to be able to quite possibly secure double scuttles here if he wants them. Does decide he wants to go back towards his top side camps, but I mean Croco's on this side of the map too, so it's kind of anyone's guess who that top scuttler will end up going to. Monki probably going to assume that Croco will get his hands on it at some point or another. You know, for all that action we saw in the bottom lane, hasn't really produced a meaningful advantage for 1xN, and in fact he is the one that is down flash if junglers do end up making their appearance.
sorry, Gordo, we can't go to bot lane because there's a topside scuttle, and there's Raptors to play for. So those are the bigger objectives right now in the early game. BuLLDog has priority. It's something that can also match the Ahri. I was wondering if BuLLDog was going to try anything extra funky, but instead it's just going to be grabbing the Raptor camp. So Croco is going to be able to cut into this early golden that we see for this Nefiri.
Yeah, fully aware of what's going on. Missing continues to be laser focused with these mantra Qs, and another double. These double up executes into landing on the enemy laner. It's so hard to do these, and 1xN has landed multiple on camera this game. Very nice laning on the Misfortune, demonstrating some mastery. Will it result in a consistent and meaningful lead? Remains to be seen. That top scuttler did go the way of Croco, so he is able to get himself paid at the end of the day, even with Monki picking up that first blood. Monki going to look to get a little bit of revenge here, though.
Steal this. I don't have smite.
Nah, Croco wins these. Croco wins these all night, man.
Did he get the Rift Herald though in that game? No, okay, I'm not gonna do that to him. You know.
I mean, he won the smite fight. He just didn't get the eye.
Yeah. You know, half the battle is grabbing the lead. I don't care at this point. Bramble smash all the dogs. Just kill them all.
Yeah, all right.
Gets it again?
Wait, did it? I thought
no,
Monki got that
some
one.
of them.
I was gonna say, I thought Monki got that one. So Monki just proves to himself that he can do it, and gets away with an extra level on the dogs for his efforts.
Okay. I mean, I gotta say, Gordo, I am tentatively a bit scared for WE. Like, About and Erha are clearly not the strongest laners, especially for a group Ascend. And this is supposed to be a 2v2 that you can be very competent in. Now, Karma Misfortune, they won't have a ton of synergy together, but when we're talking about just the lane, it is one way that you can combat the Caitlyn and Lux. So it's good to see them continue to be really, really well positioned, I think is the phrase I want to use, to be able to take down two bot laners that have continued to struggle here. Again!
Yeah, I mean, this is... Double Up's a weird ability. It bounces in like a weird cone shape. And 1xN knows that cone back and forth, baby, because he is curving these bullets constantly. And yeah, I mean, like you said, no inherent synergy, but you know what? 400 gold lead sounds like synergy to me.
Now you're speaking the business language. We're generating synergy, we're generating profits for shareholders, the shareholders being 1xN's bank account in this game. And he's got the coal early, which that was part of his first back. So him and BuLLDog already getting more gold per gold, like we saw, we were talking about with the Twisted Fate in that last game.
Yeah, I mean, this is, not a matchup where you're supposed to be up like 2-way for CS, but 1xN is doing just that. I think this laning phase has been really clean from Missing and 1xN, finding a lot of extra damage where, it's not expected. This is a much better than you would draft, assuming you would get from the 2v2 from Missing and 1xN so far. And they're going to be plenty happy here. Talked about things being on 1xN's shoulders all night long. Now he's got a second marksman on the comp with him in this double marksman team, and is having quite a strong laning phase. Oh man, look at the open up of the bullet time to force the recall to be canceled even through barrier.
I respect that. I respect that so much. Monki has 6. Maybe they can get a little bit more. I don't think 1xN and LNG are going to give them very much pressure. They're not going to fall for it. That's very respectful of their opponents here.
They definitely saw the jungle pet just there. They didn't see him the first time. So
yeah, but jungle pet is super buggy this season. Like half the time it jumps from your base to the first camp you hit. So I would not be surprised if they just don't. You're not able to see it on enemy vision.
You may be right. I think they saw the whole dog earlier as well. So 1xN and Missing aware of what was going on. Cube is taking a lot of abuse from the Maiden. Down below 200 HP. Still feels confident in his ability to stay in this lane.
one day they will fix Yorick wall to not immediately bug out mega autos. Like, if you've ever played against this champion, trying to auto attack the Dark Procession it's bugged most of the time. So that was almost a solo kill from Sheer. Doesn't end up being so. 30 CS up. I know we've spent a lot of time bottom lane, but this is a very good matchup for the Yorick. Still, Sheer is doing a lot of good work here already this early on. Thankfully for WE, they did grab the dragon, but we saw last game what happened even with WE getting themselves early drags.
Oh, wow. Croco flashing in there off the back of the Spirit Fire. That is not enough damage. Karis going to be able to pick up the first kill, and another Monki claims the life of Missing. BuLLDog now going to have to try to navigate his way out of this one. Gets hit by the charm, gets hit by the final spark. Erha makes it 3-0. What was that, Croco?
Dude, I mean, you're saying Croco, Karis, you smurfed the hell out of that fight. He helped set up his mid-end support, and that was really well played coming in from WE. 4 kills now on their side, and they were also able to contest for the Raptors. That's a big boon for them coming out of this 3-on-3 that they, or this 3-on-4 that they played. I'm looking back at this. I mean, Dodge is out, doesn't have the W anymore, but Karis gets the cheat first. I'm more surprised that Karis had time to go to base, teleport back, and it's BuLLDog who is second to this fight. That is the most impressive part to me for WE.
Yeah, I mean, this BuLLDog still hitting minions. Just seems like it's on a different page here. Great charm from Karis.
Yeah.
To close out that one, and just like that, the lane leads evaporate on the scoreboard and go right into Monki and Karis' pockets.
Sheer 1xn, they press tab, they go, bruh, what just happened? Guys, we were winning. All right, whatever. We'll fix it. We'll go into review. If we win the series, winning fixes everything. You don't even have to go over. You're like, ah, whatever. Okay, happened. We have Dragon spawning in 3 minutes, so probably not going to have too much action, but with a Maokai that is going to have ultimate soon. Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
Combo there. And that's why this duo is obnoxious. I mean, that right there is why you draft Lux Caitlyn. You land one light binding one time, and that's what happens. 1xn going to be forced to take the recall. Another wave going to crash. About going to get another plate, and most of this gold lead going to evaporate from that.
We are looking good. The laning phase wasn't strong, but once they had access to their ultimates, everything kind of came right back on into their favor. So, kind of going to be interested to see if they're going to continue. Yes, Maokai ult.
Missing. 1xn going to be able to flash back away. Missing guys very quickly. Bramble smash back under the turret, but Croco is too little too late to save his AD carry. Now he might just be given over a 3rd kill in this dive to WE. Another 3-0. A triple kill to About. And BuLLDog gets 2 plates for it.
And look at this. Look at the item completions. I mean, Monki already had the Cyclo Sword before this play, and now About's going to finish what is looking to be a collector so early on at 12 minutes here. Really big wins now being continued to be snowballed upon here for WE. We missed talking about it, but there was 3 grubs going over to LNG. If this had gone any better for WE, if they'd gotten those grubs, I imagine this turret is maybe going away with the next wave coming in. They thought that Nature's Grasp was going to be enough, but the damage had already been done. Karis had moved, and this is extremely reminiscent of game number 1, Gordo, where Karis was getting active on the map on his Akali, and he was making things happen for this team.
And these 4 champions just deal so much damage. You can see LNG have a decent game plan for how to try to survive that dive, get at least some trade kills back, and just nobody can live long enough to make it happen. Karis strong on the Akali. Turning back on a Cube here. He thinks he can set up onto Sheer. Call the Forge God comes on across. He's still working its way through Cube's health bar, and Sheer says, all right, I'm going to take this one right on a Monki. Come on, who else wants to fight against the Yorick? Flashing under the turret, finishes Cube, but that's going to be a kill funneled back to Monki.
I think I'm happy about that if I am LNG. Like, Sheer still got the kill, and I mean, look, Monki, he had to blow his flash. They're going to lose out on a big wave. Cube is still behind, and it is really important to get gold and, more importantly, in my opinion, experience for this Orin so he can get those Masterwork items. But it is pressure alongside the map. We're already getting a lane swap here with Tristana picking up this top turret. 3 grubs. Maybe she's able to grab this tier 1 turret in top lane.
And can she beat out About in this race? Doesn't look likely. This turret is already so low, and headshots are a hell of a drug. About going to claim the first turret for WE. Even more gold into his pockets, though, attempting a dive onto Karis.
Oh my
nice
God!
charm again! Karis, you are insane! But gonna get Bramble Smash back into the play anyway. Out of stacks of Spirit Rush, slowed up by these saplings. Croco gonna flash for it, is able to get the shutdown, and now is gonna be able to give that kill right back to Erha.
Still is going to be a turret here for BuLLDog with 3 grubs and the Kraken Slayer already done, but expensive, a Pyrrhic victory here for LNG, as that was incredibly played by Karis, even if he doesn't live there. Landing that charm midair is just crazy. Great predict coming in from the mid laner of WE, and a second dragon, and now it's going to be these crystalline overgrowth that's going to get abused. That's a turret plate here for About.
Really good stuff. Be able to get that additional gold onto About every opportunity you get. This is what the early Caitlyn brings you, the ability to slingshot yourself to such a gold lead. We thought it was getting thwarted in the early game, but has pulled it right back after that dive, handing over a triple kill to the likes of About, and now he is an engine that they can play around. The assassination potential with Monki and Karis individually, plus what this fishing with About and Erha can bring. It's just so dangerous to step anywhere near WE as LNG, and it's so dangerous to go out on your own anywhere.
Oh, we're not doing this, guys. Like, Caitlyn is coming out of base now. We are TPing for this. I think they're going to chase them out of the pit. The Herald's already gone.
Herald is gone. Call the Forge God getting channeled. Casts back through. Lands only onto Sheer. Missing, is caught up by a light binding. Able to run out. And that's a lot blown for WE to show up here and not do much of anything.
I wonder if we'll get a replay of that, because Karis used his ultimate and he dashed straight into the Dark Procession. Stopped him from being able to move forward, and now it's a bullet time to protect the minion wave. Great job from LNG to mitigate some of the losses here in this early game. I was looking at About, he recalled, he finished his boots, but he's edging closer and closer to an Infinity Edge as a second item already. He is incredibly powerful, and as long as they can continue to utilize this bot lane, I think it's going to be very tough for LNG to get any control. I mean, Maokai gets to cheat by throwing in saplings, but I don't think it's going to make a very big dent unless we can see more from this LNG team.
Yeah, that is going to certainly hurt. There is something to look at here for LNG, and that is Sheer in the side lane. Not really a good champion from WE to come and match this guy, and he is pretty accelerated in this game. It's a pretty significant lead. About is about to rip through this turret like it's nothing, but it will be traded for the bottom side. 1xN, kind of just on bullet time the turrets, or bullet time the minion waves rather, duty. This game is going to continue to have those waves funneled into him, and it will be a turret for turret exchange, which if you're LNG just trying to slow the game down and keep things from getting out of control, I think you'll take that.
I like the point about Sheer in this game. You mentioned nobody from WE really deals with him very well, and with 3 grubs, it does mean that split pushing is a fairly realistic threat, especially with the addition of turret plates this season. So I think it is a possibility, but the point that goes in favor of WE is the fact that they got the first 2 dragons. If they can continue dragon stacking, then this Yorick is forced to walk up, and this is an Ocean Drake. This is not like a Chemtech Soul like we saw from the last game. If you get an Ocean Drake, I think with this composition, and with most compositions, you are going to win.
A really good blessing given over to WE, along with the fact that they were able to fight their way back in here. They have their backs against the wall. Their spot in Group Ascend is on the line. They first picked this Naafiri for Monki, and he is paying dividends with it. It's made so much happen on the map in this early game. Started setting Karis ahead, went in to make the dives happen for About and Erha. And now the team finds themselves in a strong position. It is in their hands whether or not they can take this to a game number 5, and it's looking positive so far in game number 4.
Let's do a math lesson. Might have to hold that considering we're about a minute away from this dragon. We got all these summoner spells up here for Team WE. I mean, it's Infinity Edge collector for this Caitlyn. Like, you are almost never breaking this champion. And when flash plus barrier, yeah, you're never touching this right now. LNG, can we make a play on the side lane? What are the observers showing us that we don't know? We put the Scryer's trinket and the sapling in the same brush?
Double vision, double security. So we do have Dragon at number 3 coming up here in just about 30 seconds. Already can see members of WE lurking in the area. Sheer going to try to create that pressure on the side that LNG have as their kind of best form of advantage, you could even call it that. But LNG have got to get this mid-wave push up and find a way to get in onto this Dragon. Rift Herald's going to try to help them do that.
The Herald, I mean, these are big. This is a big amount of gold. 1xN is using this to escape. Okay, he knows if he jumps in and the bounce back once he jumps out, it's going to get him killed. So, unfortunately for LNG, this is a Herald that's just going to turn into 30 gold here for Team WE. Karis uses the Rocket Belt to get out of danger.
Does have Sheer in the area. Charm connects on a Croco. Not too much follow-up damage to be found. Cube is going to be the one locked inside the procession. A little bit of damage connecting onto a bout on the side as well. LNG are actually the ones in the pit first, trying to land a little bit of poke damage here. Croco would love to be able to pick this one up. Nature's Grasp is incredibly well timed. Call the Forge God coming through, but it might be a little bit too late. Lands across 2 members. There's the final spark to land there as well. They will be able to smite down the Dragon, but they have already lost their top laner. Ace in the hole on the BuLLDog. Really big buster shot, but not enough to save his life. It's a Charm is connected on a 1xN. It's a double kill to Karis. The reset on towards missing will be able to force his flash. 3 bodies hit the floor for LNG, but they were able to pick up the Dragon.
There goes the Baron here for WE. They're going to move themselves over. Karis is going to push one more wave and then look to join the rest of his team. We'll see if that Dragon take from LNG was enough to buy them time in this game, but if you ask me right now, I am more credulity looking at WE winning this game and sending us to 5. Having all of these advantages, having closer to 3 items, Ornn is starting to send out those masterworks. This was the math question, or I guess the trivia question I wanted to give you here, Gordo, but it seems like About has failed that. We have upgraded the Collector, which makes me not happy.
Yeah, that's a disappointing one. You would hope to not upgrade that particular item, but all's well that ends well. Still bonus stats.
Yeah.
Final spark set up here with that call to Forge God to get this fight started, and the resets for Monki are massive.
This is part of having all this damage this early and having both an Ahri and an Fury. Just being able to reset your on the hunt, and then also the Spirit Rush makes it incredibly difficult for WE, who don't have a relevant enough front line. This is an AP Maokai, so doesn't have the same tank stats. And if this Karma was even, I would actually say that she's able to maybe kind of smooth over some of those issues that I was mentioning, but you're too far behind at this point, I think, as LNG, at least at this moment, to be able to do anything. So we're seeing good gold leads, and I gotta say, I think so far this series has really been dictated by mid-jungles and how much effectiveness we can get from them. Game 1 was completely decided by Karis and Monki, and Cube got himself the player of the game. And Game 2, we really got to see this mid-jungle from LNG, specifically Croco, really take control.
I mean, it is just so hard for LNG to play the game against this Baron buff. They don't have the wave clear of something like a control mage, and you can see BuLLDog just trying to shoot at these minions. It is not working out very well for him to be able to actually stop these sieges. So easy pickings for WE to clean up another inner turret, getting that middle one there for themselves. Sheer get a little bit back on the bottom side. He was the first one to drop in that last fight. You can see he just does not bring the value to these team fights either, despite his individual advantage. So they just need to find a way to slow the game down and be able to utilize the pressure of this side laner. But how do you slow the game down now that the Baron's gone? It's so difficult. Karis looking for something, getting on top of missing, does not connect the charm, doesn't need to. Monki's got the damage to be able to finish off the job even without Karis landing skill shots, and he's gonna make that a double kill.
We'll just be able to push on bottom side. Oh my god, Gordo, we're going to 5 games, and you know what's the best part about this? We got another best of 5 right after this.
10-game night to start off the
Don't
the
say
LPL
that. Oh,
playoffs,
God.
perhaps?
I think producer Elia is about to turn off your mic.
Well, whatever happens, happens. Not my responsibility. As in,
No.
I am being actively muted in the Discord, but luckily that's not where my audio comes from for the broadcast.
Yep.
So everybody else is on. You're only making Alk suffer at this point. Good
Trying to keep us
turret
apart.
takes coming through for WE. This is, like I said, it's just so easy for them. There's no way to wave clear if you're LNG unless you're expending bullet time, and even then you have to defend 1xN.
True. For people at home, because I will just say, Gordo, I think this game is over. The reason why I am
right.
like up in arms about the upgraded collector is because when Riot got rid of the unique masterwork items with legendaries and the like being changed, they just made all the upgrades give about 1,000 gold's worth of stats. But depending on what item you give, you can get concentrated on one thing. So gold, or collector, spreads out the increase amongst its different stats. For Infinity Edge, it is all in the AD. So you get hella amounts of damage.
Yeah. I miss the masterwork names, dude. It's,
I know.
you reminded me.
Syzygy was great. Certainty was your favorite. I know.
Yep. So, wow, Monki. I mean, that's a lot of damage. He upgraded Serpent's Fang, by the way. I'm pretty sure that's also not the right one.
No. Oh, actually, I'm looking at the math. See, tonight is just me being a mega noob tonight. They give the same amount of AD for Collector and for... I thought maybe it was going to give Collector the lethality that's a part of it, but it's not part of the
I thought
upgrade.
so too. All right, well, that's news to me. I think I've
good
made
job.
the same criticism before. It turns out I don't know what I'm talking about. Is 1xN getting collapsed on by Karis, and once again, don't even need to land the charm. There's just enough damage and Spirit Rush for Karis to make short work of these players. Sheer's Ghouls doing their best to work on this dragon, and you know what, Sheer? Yeah, you go ahead and you take that dragon, buddy, because you're not saving your Nexus, not at this rate.
I was like, is Sheer really going to stay around for this dragon? He finishes it now, and he's going to TP, but the damage is done. We're going to Game 5.
Listen, if he stops this, then the team has an extra dragon.
No.
You know what?
No. I'm not letting you gaslight me on this, Gordo. We already messed up the collector thing. I'm not going 2 for 2 on this.
LNG survives, and they have an extra dragon. They trade inhibitor for dragon.
If this game goes on long enough for that to be relevant, then you know what? Good job, LNG. And maybe Sheer deserves another player of the game, pending them winning. But
You say another, they didn't even give him the Zehen one, dude. I'm still
yeah,
mad
yeah.
about that.
We were talking about that afterwards. We were like, oh, wait a minute. Whoa, what?
Yeah, we were like, Croco gets another MVP, another LNG game. Not to be surprised, you know.
We have a lower third for that, actually. Producer Elia, I'm pointing my finger at you. It's the one good thing for LNG we can start talking about when they're down 10,000 gold.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, Sheer's not gotten to see a lot of those MVPs, so when he has a Zehen game like that, you better give it to him, but... Oh well, denied. Gonna need to find the chance. Maybe this Yorick will be the one. Probably not. Because he's going to get bound up. He's going to get chain CC'd. He's going to take a boatload of damage. And he's going to get hunted down by Karis. Meanwhile, Monki has been able to isolate and solo out BuLLDog. And it's an utter wipe for the likes of WE. A triple kill goes to Karis. A double kill goes to Monki. 22-2 on the scoreboard. That's enough twos for me because we're about to be 2-2 going to game number 5. WE are not leaving Ascend without a fight.
Hey, it's 3-2-2s here. Look at that. You get so many of them on the top of the screen there. And yeah, we're going to game number 5. Who cares about having a soul? Who cares about having winning lanes? They just smashed them here, Gordo. I mean, great job coming in. And honestly, the hardest decision we have to make now is between Monki and Karis, who gets MVP?
I'm giving it to Monki, baby. I think Monki
All
got
right.
Karis ahead, not vice versa. All right, so who started the snowball rolling? I'm giving the credit to Karis. I think he played this game really, really well into the Fury. They put the ball in his hands with the first pick of the dog, and he gave it to him.
There is no other votes. It's all Monki
Wow,
all day.
I'm the only one in the voting, actually. Sorry.
Yeah. They needed you in that poll earlier in the chat. They needed you for this kind of fixing for the polls.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I voted in the poll in the chat. Don't think I didn't. I know you voted
So did
too,
I.
brother.
I voted too. I voted
You
too.
got it.
But, man, that was a fast game. That was a very one-sided game as well. Like we said, 22-2 ended up being a little bit more by the time, but like that was a one-sided game coming in, and I feel strange, Gordo, because as fun as that game 4 was, I feel like it gives in to all the bad press that Fearless had when it came in, where everyone was saying, "Oh, game 4 and 5s are just ruined by this format." That game 4 is exactly what they're looking at.
Don't fall for the propaganda. All right, lots of game 4 and 5s were one-sided before Fearless. All right, lots of games of League of Legends are one-sided. It's a game where getting ahead gives you more resources than the enemy. It's gonna happen. You're gonna have one-sided games. There's whole compositions built to get leads early and snowball with them. It's not a surprise that happens X amount of the time. I'm excited for a Fearless game number 5. So many champions taken off the board. What are these two teams going to be able to show us with all of the chips down and everything to play for? Only one team can go to Ascend. The other is spending Summer Split in Group Nirvana. And I mean, what a disappointment for whichever team that's going to happen to. And it's so much of your year that you have on the line for just this one game coming up.
Yeah, I mean, for WE, they made it into Ascend by beating LNG last time. For LNG, the entire narrative for all of 2026 and even for parts of 2025 when they had Zika and Weiwei and LP, it was make a group Ascend. You're probably better than some of the Group Nirvana teams. That team tragically was a big disaster, and we don't talk about them from 2025. But all year long it has been 1xN, Croco. These guys deserve to be in Group Ascend. They deserve to have this team kind of push forward. They failed it before, and is one game away for either one of them to have that dream realized and continue forward.
Definitely. So we check out the post-game stats. Monki leading the team in damage off of this very, very strong Nefiri performance. And yeah, for all the praise we were layering onto 1xN and missing in that bot lane early on, all it takes is a couple of visits from Monki to completely turn that matchup back around. We talked about it was him versus Croco was the major story the first time these two teams met. And at least for this game number 4, felt like it was in that territory once again. There is still Jace available. There is still Kha'Zix available. Alk, could we see it again?
No. Don't do this to me. You know what could come through? A Malphite. Malphite jungle could come back.
It could. The right composition.
Who knows? But yeah, with how the highlights are looking here, Gordo, this is looking like a Monki pog.
Yeah, I would probably give it to Monki. I mean, I've made my case already, but
yeah,
that certainly feels like it's the right call here. I mean, I still can't get over this mid lane fight. Yes, Karis played it super well, but I mean, the fact that he was the one with the inside track, the fact that he's already back from the TP, I mean, Croco just totally misreads the situation, does not seem to be on the same page with BuLLDog either, who isn't even trying to get over there faster. And then from that into the spot lane dive, the whole game is just so out of control. They've lost everything they built up through the lanes.
Yeah, it was really disappointing if you're an LNG fan. Everything was going well. You were winning bottom lane. We talked about the 30 CS lead that LNG had early, and it completely went nowhere. It kind of went into WE's pockets. They went rifling. They were like, hey, I'm reaching in. I'm stealing your lunch money. I'm stealing your dinner money. I'm stealing everything. You guys are going to have nothing here in this game. Took all of their lives as well. This is a weird choice to use the league director to when we're in this proximity, but regardless, good job WE. I think that was probably one of their most dominant games we have seen all year long, if not top 3 performance.
Yeah, classic knife dog gameplay here, as Monki just unrelenting, continues to get the resets, continues to isolate out targets. You know, it's not the focus of this team fight as you're just watching Sheer get finished off, but 1xN does get basically one shot by Monki in this team fight as well. Just no opportunities to play up against the Fury once she gets a couple of kills in the pocket. And let's see it. Let's see the Monki MVP. Come on.
Cube MVP on ice. I was ready for it, man. I'm just
a
ready
second
to get
Cube MVP would be crazy. That would be a...
It would. Man, I know we were saying we were hoping for it to go to 5. It ends up going 5, but really, honestly, I think if we would have seen like a 3-0 or a 3-1, I would have rather disappointed with the series. Just, it could only be this way. I think it is truly way too poetic to not see it. There's the Monki Pog, 7-0-10. That is the Monki that fans knew and loved last year on Team WE when they made that initial run. This is the guy that started to rally and was potentially making a name for herself as a top 4 jungler in the league.
Yeah, I mean, this is... WE is still a relatively young team, right? Monki just debuting last year and now about coming in this year. They need these players to be able to step up, to be able to take down, you know, who were maybe not in format favorites, but I think by a lot of fan and analyst sentiment favorites in LNG. And they have taken them the distance here. Will they be able to come on up with the win at the end of the day? Will they be able to reprise what they showed us in split number 1? Will they be able to rejoin Group Ascend for another trial in split number 3? We'll find out after this break. We'll see everybody for draft number 5.